All right. Hey, okay. Now I'm ready to talk. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, we've hit the a little bit past the halfway mark now. They played 42 games of the 82, so 40 left. Um, yeah, let me know how you're feeling. Is this uh, is this team meeting expectations? What were your expectations? First of all, I guess your expectations might have been, I thought they were going to be terrible, and then they weren't terrible. Or maybe your expectation was, oh, they're going to win the Stanley Cup, and they're not meeting your expectations. But let me know what your expectations were, and if the Habs are meeting them thus far. I thought that they were going to be maybe like a smidge better than last year. And for the most part, they are better than last year, except in nets, obviously. In nets, they have taken a step back, and not sure how I feel about that. Not sure if that's like something that will be rectified this year. I certainly hope so. So yeah, let me know. Hello, Michael Paul. Thanks for joining. We'll get started shortly. We're just kind of people are just rolling in right now. Good evening, Habs fans. Absolutely. We have a new episode of Hockey Inside Out. We're back from the holidays. No Knuckles this week. I wanted to explain what happened. So Knuckles was supposed to be on, and Knuckles will be on next week, as he always is. But I can't tell you. It's a secret, a little bit of a secret. But he will be involved in some New York Rangers 100th anniversary stuff. I can't tell you what, but he was invited. He was invited to some New York Rangers 100th anniversary stuff. So if you're wondering where Knuckles is this week, Knuckles is not could not make it, but Knuckles will be back next week. I know. I wanted to like clear that up just because obviously it's first week of the new year, and I know you didn't want to. It's very important for me that everything we start the new year kind of how we ended it, because otherwise you'll be like, did something change? So Knuckles will be back next week. Don't worry about it. We got Brendan Kelly in this week, and I know you guys feel a type of way about Brendan sometimes, but he was great. He was really great on the episode. Actually, really enjoyed his insights. Hello, Pulpo. Above expectations for sure. I like it. Uh, yeah. So, did you think they were gonna like kind of struggle for a playoff spot again? I mean, they kind of are. That division is such a mess. Oof. I'm watching the RDS feed tonight, and they're just showing all the horrible injuries that have befallen the Colorado Avalanche. So look out. Oh, Bo Horvat too. Okay, so they're talking about because that subscription expired on the 6th. I won't renew until comments come back. Stay here, just saying. I'm staying here. We're hanging. And also, don't tell anybody I told you this, but you know how like comments are broken on the site? Well, so is the paywall. You can read the articles right now. No, I don't think that's like an open secret. You can actually read the articles right now. You won't get paywalled because the whole entire structure is broken. So I know when you guys are like, "Oh, where are the comments?" I'm like, "Oh, there's so much more broken about it," but it's okay. You can read whatever you want right now, so don't worry about it. You just can't comment on it. Hi all, let's see what team shows up tonight. We seem to play better on the road and are able to rise to the level of the teams ahead of us. Somehow, we don't seem to dominate against weak ones. Well, do you guys remember what happened the last time, the other time that the Canadians played the Calgary Flames this year? Dustin Wolf damn near single-handedly beat the Habs. The Habs ended up winning, I believe, 2-1 in overtime. Was it even maybe a shootout? But they barely hung on, and yeah, I'd imagine Dustin Wolf is in tonight, and I'd imagine the same thing could possibly happen. Everybody always talks about a letdown, first game back at home after a road trip, so that's going to be important for the Habs to annoy it. Well, the paywall's coming. The paywall is coming back. So for now, it's like kind of a mess. Also, did you get the print version? If you get the print version, that's a different thing entirely, and the rest of the network. But fair. I thought they would be very close to where they are, 97 and 99 points. I just didn't expect them to do it with so many injuries. Yeah, the injuries is kind of an interesting an interesting little bit with the Habs. They seem like the lines actually seem to be like kind of like nice and balanced right now. It might actually get weirder when guys come back. I think it'll be okay when Doc comes back. Maybe. I mean, if Doc can't really go on the first line, I'm not really sure where he lands on like the bottom lines. Um, Ditto New Hook. New Hook's still a ways away. And then honestly, Patrick Laine, I don't see where there's a spot for him. We did a lovely feature on him and his wife over the break, and it's in the Gaz. And Patrick Laine and his wife are so lovely, but alas, I don't think that there's an opportunity here for him. Yes, no print version in the UK. Well, I guess the paywall is coming back, and then you can also, I suppose, feel good in knowing that you're keeping me employed, which is great too, right? I appreciate you, Joseph, and I appreciate all of you, subscribers, print, online, anybody. If you watch our YouTube videos, if you watch this thing, if you're here for the first time, I appreciate you very much. And yeah, just looking forward to the second half with the Habs. Here, hold on a sec. Realized I had my water here on another table. It's going to be interesting when they start coming back, and the best part is the ice time and development of the younger players. I think the guy who I agree with you, and the guy that I think has benefited the most out of all this is Oliver Kapanen, who got a glowing endorsement from Kent Hughes at the midseason press conference yesterday, where they asked him, Kent Hughes point blank, is Oliver Kapanen the second line center? And he said, yeah, he is. He can become. I think he kind of said like curbed it a little, saying that like he can become the second line center. Um, but yeah, it's so funny because I mean, you guys and me all off season, it was like, who's the second line center? Who's the second line center? When it became clear that they were going to put their chips in Dobson, and that they were going to try Doc and New Hook again, we were all like, ugh, really? And then sure enough, now we've got Oliver Kapanen that is basically taking the job by the horns, which is unbelievable. Hello, Harry. As excited as we are by only being 3 points out of first, the Sabres only 4 points behind us. Honestly, the Canadiens are a winning streak from being in first and a losing streak from being in last or close to last. It's kind of insane how tight the Atlantic is, especially when you consider like in the West how dominant like Colorado and Dallas are, and then in the East it's just a giant gaggle of teams. I can't tell you the last time I actually opened a real newspaper, but you're in the UK. The UK has so many lovely newspapers. No, they have a lot. There's still a news. You're still like in the newspaper capital of Earth. I guess I don't know if you're like in like London, but I think everywhere in the UK they still got it. Renewal is too expensive. Let it run out and get it at a deal price. Hey, I not in my best interest to tell you to save some money on this, but yeah, man, do it. Tell them this and that. See if they get desperate. They should be desperate. They should be desperate. Do it. Get a deal. I wish I could give out a deal tonight. I wish I could. They should do that. Eh? They should like give me some like subscription coupons or something. I could like give them out as prizes. I think I have a hat. I have a couple hats. If I could mail them, they gave me like a nice package to mail them, and I'd mail them to you guys. Get some Gazette hats. But anyways, what do you guys think of Kaiden Guhle? He's not back tonight, but he's coming back tonight. Hold on, let me get the lines for you. All right, here we go. Got some lines for tonight. Top line's the same. Second line the same. Third line the same. Fourth line, Beck's still on there. Anderson, Anderson is still out. Uh, and then yeah, same defense basically, right? Yeah, Engstrom was sat last game, and we got Fowler in goal tonight. This is a game the Habs should win. I totally agree, Darcy. Unfortunately, the Canadiens this season have, as you guys have pointed out, kind of played down to their opponents at home and then really like played up to their opponents on the road. So this game worries me a lot. Not a lot. Worries me a little bit. The come down after coming home after the road trip, um, against an opponent with a good goalie that's playing better. Like they were pretty bad early in the season. They're getting a little better. They're still not very good, but they're not like Vancouver train wreck bad. I do want to know: are you guys excited about Guhle coming back? Part of me's obviously very excited because he's one of the four best defensemen on the team. But I'm also like, who's playing where? Who's doing what? Is that the end of? I mean, Engstrom's going to go back to Laval, that's for sure. And then what's going to happen to Struble? I think to me, Struble feels like the obvious odd man out over Jack Eye. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but Hudson's been so good on the left side, his natural side. You can't move him back. You shouldn't move back to the right side. So then you've really got like three left-handed defensemen. So you got like Matheson, Hudson, Guhle that you really need to like keep on the left side. Then you've got Carrier, Dobson, or Dobson Carrier on the right side, and then I guess Jack Eye's your third right defenseman, or Struble, or the two keep like swapping. I guess that's how you have to do it. And then now you understand why they drafted David Reinbacher, by the way. So now you see where David Reinbacher fits in. Um, and then that's kind of your. I mean, all those five guys are like signed for a little while. Carey is not signed for too long, but those guys are signed for a while. Um, so like your defense is kind of there. Happy he's back. Rick, he's not back though. He's almost back. He's still. I think Stu was pretty sure that he wasn't going to come back today, just because they weren't going to put him in after one practice. The problem is the team plays back to back, so he probably doesn't practice tomorrow, or the team doesn't practice tomorrow, and then Friday they're off. So I think he plays Saturday. They'll have a skate tomorrow, and then he'll play Saturday. Engstrom is Laval bound. He is. He's good though. He showed a lot. It's just this team has a lot of defense. I do think ultimately Engstrom is the guy that if the Canadians are like, first in the Atlantic and think that they can do some damage in the playoffs and they need to trade a good prospect to get somebody, I do think Engstrom is the guy you dangle. I just feel like they don't, as good as I think he could be, there's not really a lot of room for him. And the room that they need to make for is for guys who are a little more physical on defense. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. So to me, Engstrom is the guy that you trade. A bit like in like the Heineman sense, where it's like Heineman was good, but he was kind of the guy you could dangle to make a trade. Engstrom, I think, is the next guy that you can dangle. Once Guhle comes back, someone is getting traded. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to Struble to me is the one that's kind of interesting. I mean, I guess Struble can be your seventh defenseman, and that's fine. But and obviously you want to keep that depth for injuries. But I think over the long haul, I think Struble's kind of hold on a roster spot is looking pretty tenuous. Hello, Karen. Good to see you again. Going to be here today, tomorrow, by the way. I know you guys are going to ask, and you'll ask me later, and I'll let you guys know. But I'm doing today and tomorrow's game. 2 months to the trade deadline, and this past week, especially like after the road trip, the conversation changed a lot. From I think the Canadians are going to be, and Hughes said it yesterday, right? That they're kind of looking for a top six forward. I think that there is a possibility that they try to land a big player. If they're sort of at the top of the standings or in the middle of the standings, they know they're going to make the playoffs and they want to go to another round, which I do think if they're in that race, I think they'll see a lot of value in making another round. I think they're going to trade. I think they're going to trade for somebody. I don't think they're going to trade like a really really key young player. I told you I think Engstrom's the guy you dangle. I don't think they're trading. They're not trading Slavkovsky for Crosby or anything like that. But I told you at the beginning of the season that I thought Panarin was the guy they might target. And now I really feel that way because the Rangers have a bunch of injuries and stink, and he's not re-signing there. So he's available. Gorton obviously loved him from his time there. And he's a pending unrestricted free agent, so I don't think he's going to cost you an arm and a leg. That's my prediction. If they're in it, if they're not in it, if they're just like hanging on to a playoff spot, I don't think they'll do it. Who has a better hold on the spot, Struble or Jackeye? That's a very good question. I think it's Jackeye. I think you guys all think it's Jackeye. But inside the Canadians, inside Martin St. Louis' brain, I don't know. I don't know. They always tilt back and forth. The injured starters must be a little nervous seeing how well the Habs are playing without them. I think Doc has to be. I mean, Doc always has to be worried about being healthy enough to play hockey. But I do think Doc has now put himself in a position where if he comes back and doesn't really like click on the first line, if they even try him on the first line, if he doesn't click on the first line, if he doesn't click on the third line, he's a restricted free agent at the end of the season. He's out. Like if he doesn't, we're at the point now for the Habs where like everybody's kind of got their chairs. Like we know 5 out of the top 6 guys. We know that Anderson and Gallagher are probably back next year, barring like a buyout or something. Which honestly, I'm like not not out of the realm of possibility at this point. So guys like Doc and even Newhook have to like look at the lineup and be like, where do I fit in this? Can I be a third liner? Because I think ultimately they're either challenging to be on the first line, and then if they can't make it on the first line, I'll put Bolduc in there too. But Bolduc is obviously young. But like, what kind of like are these guys forming like a all offense third line? I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Friday is gonna be a +7. I know my dog is thrilled. My my dog's had a rough go of it in December. He's definitely like pretty stressed and bored and tired. The poor guy. I agree with Bob. Why mess with what's working now? Yeah, totally. Like if Texier keeps playing well with the top line, do you just keep him there? Do you really want to like experiment with Doc? I think you would put Doc on like the third line and see if he gets healthy. I think they think that Struble is more reliable currently. That has been up until I think very recently true. I think Jack is like starting to turn the tide a little bit, but I know you're right. You're probably right. But I don't know. I think we're all everybody who watches the team. I don't know anybody who's like Team Struble. Everybody who watches the team is like pretty like Team Jack Guy, but and it's unfortunate that they both have to compete with each other, but they do fit that same slot, you know? It's not MSL that does the trade. If it was Arbor, he would have been gone a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, man, Marty's had already a pretty long relationship with Jack Guy. Really has like gone hot and cold, more cold to be honest. But I don't know. I do think he's turned the corner. As for Line, not sure I want to see him back. I honestly don't know if we'll ever see him again. I think if the Canadians were really like struggling or hard up for offense or whatever, they would obviously bring him back with open arms when he's healthy. But I just like with the way that the team is already great on offense, the power plays buzzing. They have so many young talented players. What they need is like defense and speed. And Line doesn't have those things. So I don't know. Not looking good for Line. And he's got to get healthy anyways. He suffered a very serious injury. Like that's not an injury that you're gonna feel awesome when you come back. So this season could be a total wash for him anyway. And then he'll be an unrestricted free agent, and I don't think they'll bring him back. Trade has to include a goalie D-man. Um, yeah, I mean, they got Fowler in tonight. They're obviously, I think, very happy with what happened with Montembeault the last two games. Um, Goalie's like the last thing they'll pull the trigger on, I think. You just don't know. You just don't know with goalies. Bob says, I'd let Doc and Line go for sure. Line I think's done. Doc, I think they've invested a lot of time in him, and he's just got that tantalizing amount of size and skill that if there's room to see what you've got still, you might try, but he's running out of runway. Free agent at the end of the year, restricted. And if he can't prove that he can play maybe first line wing or like third line center, there's no room for him. He can't even be third line center. They got Deneau next year. Deneau's under contract, and then Haig's coming in. Hage. So yeah, not looking good. What kind of dog? We are a country of sweaters, jumpers, and boots and coats for dogs, especially greyhounds. Got to get your dog some clothes. Oh, he's got clothes. He's got a sweater jacket. The shoes are hard. He always kicks them off. So it takes more time to put the shoes on than it does for him to actually walk. So I tend to just like carry him, drop him, he pees, back in the house. I have a miniature pincher, by the way, miniature pincher named Biggie Smalls. He is a very silly boy. Oh, we're about to start here. Blue had some good comments on Janot. Every added player helps. Since he's been here, the Habs are at 750. Prior to the Habs, 500 average. Faceoff was just under 60. I mean, they won a game off a big faceoff win from him against Dallas. Texier with a shot in the opening 12 seconds. And we do indeed have Dustin Wolf tonight for Calgary. Dustin Wolf was awesome the last time these two teams played. He is probably the only real thing in Calgary to be excited about until Parekh comes back from the juniors. Where's he playing? Is he playing in the juniors or the big team? No, he's not playing, right? No, no Parekh. Ex-Hab Joel Hanley's still at it, though. Good for him. Oh, Texier with a nice interception, and he almost fed Caulfield cross ice. Already 3 shots for the Habs. So far, so good. Puck just got into the Habs zone, and then, or into the Habs zone, and then the Habs took it back right away. Yeah, the dog's shoes are the worst. Mini pincher, Biggie Smalls. I feel like I knew that. Amazing. Yeah, I've mentioned Biggie Smalls a couple times. I don't know why he doesn't come on the broadcast more. He's usually sleeping at this time. Two Canadian teams facing off with starting goalies from Florida and California. How the times have changed. Oh, I like that. Dustin Wolf's from California. That's true. If he was Canadian, he'd probably be starting for Team Canada. By the way, what did you guys think of Team Canada not having any players from Quebec? Do you care? Gallagher, nice, nice rush with Dano, and that's Dano's first shift since coming in Montreal, since coming back to the Canadiens. Spent his first, what is it, 4 or 5 games on the road. Yeah, what do you guys think? No Quebec players on Team Canada. Team Canada needs the best qualified players. Period. Oh yeah, for sure. Nobody from Quebec deserved to go. Like it was the correct decision. Just sad, right? It's just kind of sad. Yo, Jack, it didn't happen quite on camera. We're gonna have to wait for the replay, but man, did he just nail that guy. Oh, big save by Fowler. That was a 3-on-1 forming. Kadri, I think, took the shot, and Fowler, man, just strong in his net. Oh yeah, a little mistake by Carrier, losing the puck at the blue line. Morgan Frost is also kind of holding his armpit there. Looks like he got hit by Blais. He took a shot from Blais behind the net. I think he kind of got like the stick up in the armpit. Yeah, Joseph says, I don't think it means Quebec is dropping in quality of people developed. It's just happenstance. Quebec represents about 4% of the league now, I think, roughly. It goes in waves, I think. Surely at some point there'll be no players from Ontario. Well, maybe not. That's true. Guess it says something about how times are changing. NHL prospect players are coming from rich families. It is a very expensive sport to play, even at like a fun level. Even just to like grab some gear and go like play in a rec league is very expensive nowadays. Mark, hey Mark, by the way, happy New Year. A lot of talk on social media about Hockey Quebec needing a complete overhaul. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that too. No room for politics in choosing the best players. That's what Bob says. Yeah, for sure. They weren't gonna just like hand out a spot. If no one deserved it, no one deserved it. Wow, they're saying Kadri has no goals in his last 7 games. Remember when everybody was like, "Oh, we should trade for him"? I don't know, man. That contract's looking pretty gnarly. Oh, nice save by Fowler. Calgary off the rush, man. Nice hard shot, but Fowler got it. That's the thing about Fowler, man. Plays his position, plays positionally sound, and he doesn't mess around. He covers up the puck. What did everybody think about Michael Hage not being picked as one of the top 3 players, but was picked as one of the top 3 forwards in the whole tournament? Yeah, that was weird, eh? He was clearly I thought he was the best forward that Canada had all tournament, but Canada obviously. I mean, look, everybody. I don't know about you guys. When I knew that Dale Hunter was coaching the team, I was like, this is gonna be a clown show, and it was. Colorful uniforms on the ice tonight. Easy to see the numbers. Yeah, I agree. I like these Calgary jerseys. They've like messed around with things over the years, but I gotta admit, like these are just kind of like the classics, and they look great. They're like immediately recognizable. Crowd booing for a penalty call against the Flames, but no, it's just an offside. So not much going on so far. Nice start for the Habs. They're 5-2 in shots. We're at 13:58 in the first. Um, so far, Fowler stopped both shots that he's faced. In case you're here late, Josh Anderson not in the lineup. He's out once again. Um, and Kaiden Guhle is not back yet either, but yesterday he practiced with the team and he is expected back later this week. Now the Habs play quite a few games in the next few days. They play tomorrow, and then I believe they play 2 games right this weekend. They play Saturday Sunday again. God, these Saturday Sunday games, man, brutal. That's how it is, eh? It's a four game and 5 night pre-Olympic craziness. Uh, no, it's Saturday, Monday. But then it's Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. So how many games? One, two, three, four, five. So 5 games in 7 nights. Jeez Louise. That's gnarly. Is that as gnarly as you guys have ever seen it? 5 games in 7 nights. Thank God they're playing like the Canucks at the end of it, or some also ran they can beat. All right, we're back from commercial break. Big next 2 games, Florida and Detroit. Yeah. Yo, do you guys think is Marchand playing on Thursday? Do you think we're gonna get an attempt at? I'm gonna say an attempt at revenge because I think Marchand's gonna try to like wiggle his way out of it. But do you think that we're gonna get some fireworks on Thursday? Let me know. Ooh, Klepka kind of stole it off Slavkovsky in the neutral zone and got in for a chance, but he missed the net. Rick, you say no attempts to get revenge on Marchand. That's not Marty's style. Yeah, I think it's a long season. Sometimes it's not the right move to do it. But you know what? They got a Sammy Blais in there who can sacrifice himself for a game if he wants. Didn't he get hurt against the Leafs? Yeah, what happened again? That was why it was kind of like, is he playing on Thursday? I didn't actually check. I haven't checked what Marchand's status is, but he was his prickish self against the Leafs as well. No, Struble will challenge him. He might. I mean, he's Struble's in that. He's weird. He's not like the most physical guy, but he will, answer the bell. Speaking of answering the bell, if Paul Byron had to answer the bell, Marchand should be no question, but I think he weasels his way out of it. Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately. Blais is aggressive. I like his style. You know what I like about Sammy Blais? To me, he's like, if he's playing like the way he's playing now, he's playing well. He's a good guy for the playoffs. Like, I'm excited to have that guy on the fourth line in the playoffs. He's the kind of sandpaper guy that the Habs don't have a lot of on the fourth lines, on the third, fourth line. So I'd be excited that if he can, because the whole issue with him, right? He doesn't like have enough skill and he's not fast enough. So if he can compensate and play like a responsible game, oof. Struble and Jackeye with a little bit of trouble handling the puck in their zone. Jackeye almost gave it away right in front of the net. Oh, Texier stole the puck in the zone, in the offensive zone, and was able to corral the puck and deliver a pretty quick pass to Caulfield, who was kind of like in the circle, like top of the circle, and he blasted a one timer. Really nice chance. Texier kind of, yeah, he kind of just like coming from behind the net. Oh yeah, two Flames players collided with each other. Texier stole the puck and was able to dish to Caulfield quickly. Man, if Texier can do more of that, I think uh, I think we'll see more of him on the top line. Coleman would fit on the Suzuki line. 21 points plus 13, 34-year old, similar to your contract to Dano. I haven't watched much of Blake Coleman lately. The Blake Coleman that like when he signed with the Flames originally, I'd be like, hell yeah, love that player. He's a little older now. I don't know. I'll watch him today and see if he's still kind of got it. Oh, back crossbar and out. What a chance. Back had him beat. What a shot. Yeah, Dustin Wolf thanking giving the crossbar a kiss after that one. Oh man. Thank you, Joseph. Have a good night. Hit the net, boys. I know he had him beat. That should have gone in. He'll be kicking himself. Beck doesn't get that many chances like that. He'll be kicking himself. Sammy Blais is not seeing the waiver wire again this year. That might be. We'll see what happens with injuries when people come back. But oh, what a chance! What a nice one-timer pass to Slavkovsky there. Man, Slavkovsky's. I haven't looked at the stats, but I definitely feel like. I mean, obviously he's playing great lately, but I just love that he's shooting now, shooting from like all over the place. I mean, he definitely gets his shots in tight, but I definitely feel like he's getting the puck, firing it quickly. But yeah, Blair's a tricky one. Him and Valeno. I mean, he and Valeno are just gonna like perpetually be, you know, potentially the odd men out if they don't find spots. You know, they don't like corral their spots. But for now, Blair's pretty comfortable on the fourth line, and Valeno, as long as Evans is still out, Valeno's got a job. But once Evans comes back, feel like they've got I feel like they've got their four centers, and then Valeno. Well, Valeno could be a 13th forward, I guess. So we're at 9:41 left in the period. Going a little slowly, but shots are 9-4 Habs. They've definitely been outchancing them all game so far. Um, we haven't seen much of the fourth line. They haven't played too much, but we did see Beck get a very nice scoring chance. Like the song went, memories. So many were impatient on Slavkovsky and still wanted Guhle. I mean, look, like, I mean, I think you can make a case that, I mean, Cooley's good. He's just hurt. And not really, like, the fit, I think. But Beck to Laval. Yeah, for sure, Beck, when somebody comes back, when Doc comes back, I think Beck's the guy out. That's for sure. Hate how this is going. Team is playing so good, and then you see the other team score. Wait, do you live in the future? Have they scored? Am I behind? No, I'm not behind. Scared me for a second there. Unless you live in the future, Adam. Adam, if you live in the future, you're legally obliged to tell us. But for now, I'm 9:26 left in the period, and it is 0-0. Shots 9-4 for the Habs. Christian Dvorak got a great re-sign. 5 years at over 5 mil. That's way too many years. Man, the Monahan and Dvorak contracts are kind of wild. Uh, they're making good money, those guys. You know, they got the Dano contract. Basically, Dano got a little more, but they got the Dano contract. And Monahan's not doing great right now in Columbus. He started off great last year, and this year's struggling. And I don't know about Dvorak. He had like a 30 game stretch in Montreal where he was finally healthy and played really well. Otherwise, was not healthy and didn't really show much. Finally hooked up a Wi-Fi extender to my exercise room. Much improved image stability. I can stress in high res. Hey, exercising while watching the Habs is a great idea. Is that a New Year's resolution? I should do that next time. I should get on the treadmill and do this. Oh no, you're not. You don't live in the future, Adam. It's just you're saying that's how things go. I know. And with a goal playing against a goalie like Dustin Wolf, even worse because he might not give up too many tonight. So if they go down one, it's gonna be a slog to get back in it. So think good thoughts. Think good thoughts. $5 million in 2 years will be like three with the cap going up so much. Yeah, no, that's true. That's why I was like not that worried about the Deneau contract, like a year left of Deneau, and why I don't fret too much about the Anderson contract anymore. It's just not these contracts aren't really preventing the Habs from like locking up their young players, uh, making more moves. That being said, I feel like the Kadri deal, like 7 mil when he's like 38 or whatever. That's a bad deal. That's a deal I walk away from. Zegras was happy for Dvorak. Great interview. Yeah. Yo, he showed up his old team last night. I loved it. I could see why Zegras rubs some people rubs some coaches and GMs the wrong way, but that guy's talented and Philly fleeced him. I mean, I would say that Anaheim fleeced Philly on the Cutter Gauthier trade. Oh, really nice play by Carrier off the draw. Shot the puck through traffic, and Dustin Wolf never saw it. Oh, and another chance to Caulfield. Ooh, really nice passing here. When it comes to like one-on-one skills in the offensive zone, Texier, you really can see that Texier can hang with those top liners. Like he's every bit as talented. It's just obviously, the rest of his game not quite the same. But when they're on offense, man, he looks good. Olivier KO of Reeves. Yo, that was fight of the year so far. That fight was crazy. Is Ryan Reeves okay, by the way? Because you're right, he got absolutely like KO'd. He got hit hard. I hope he's okay. Wow, really? Two chances, three chances. Deneau with a great puck protection in the offensive zone. Got it back to Bolduc. Bolduc with a hard shot. And then Gallagher in front with the rebound. Two scoring chances there. Dustin Wolf, man. Comes up big again. Habs now up to 11 shots this period. Can't beat Wolf so far. Wow, what a play by Farabee, man. Absolutely blew by the defenseman covering him and nearly beat one past got one like around a stretched out Fowler, but no, he couldn't score. Okay, this game's picked up in the last like minute and a half. Is that gonna be a penalty? Nope. A couple guys got tripped up in the neutral zone, but I think it was just incidental. Reeves gave a sweet interview after the game. Duel will be working on TV someday for sure. Not only does hockey media love those fighter types, but Reeves is perfect for it. Very charismatic guy. Oh, Jack Eye with a great chance coming down the left side. Caught Wolf going a little out of the net, and he kind of kicked the rebound out in front, and nobody on the Habs could get it, but very nice destabilizing play on offense by Jack Eye coming in from the point down the left side. Oh, nice zone entry there by Matheson. Deked by his guy and got Wolf with a nice shot. Oh, another turnover. Flames turn it over trying to enter the zone. Ooh, Slavkovsky went around and tried to center it, but nobody there. Whoa, what a move by Matheson. Dangling at the point, and then Hudson gave it to Hudson. Hudson immediately gave it back to him. I don't think Matheson was expecting it, but it's still in the offensive zone here. Top line's out, by the way. Puck gets dumped out to center ice, though. Arbor wants a goal badly tonight. How many shots does he have? He's got one officially, but yeah, I think you're right. Looking great tonight. Oh, breakaway chance. Oh, puck just a little too far, and then Caulfield had a chance to beat Wolf from a sharp angle, but he was the only guy there, so Wolf was really able to like overcompensate to that side because he knew there was no one like coming in for the rebound. Okay, now Hudson with the zone entry. He slows the game down. Pass goes out. What's gotten into Arbor Jackeye? He's making better decisions all of a sudden. That's a good question. What do you guys think? Do you think just he got a little bit more rope from Marty and now he's got confidence and he's not like second guessing his game? That's what I feel like it probably was. I think the injury to Guhle helped over time. I know Guhle got hurt a long time ago now, but uh knowing that he's kind of got a roster, that he's got a lineup spot every night, and then he knows that he's not going to get um, put in the rafters, put in the press box because they've got six defensemen basically. So I think that certainly helped him. He's been rushing a lot more, and it's man, I feel like that was a part of his game that like really excited everybody when he came into the league. And then like after that first season, other teams started like feasting on that because he wasn't. It's hard to be good at like rushing like that, and I feel like teams were started taking advantage of him, and then he had to like simplify his game and bring his game back, and now he's starting to get a little confident. Random fact: Mike Matheson was the last Anglo-Quebecois to be drafted in the first round. That's not true. Joe Valeno. We got another one. Bob, Joe Valeno. Don't forget Joe Valeno. Matheson was drafted, yeah, much before Joe Valeno. Karen says Marty's been working with him. I think that's true as well. Knowing that he's got to be in the lineup every night, I think he's probably. I would imagine they've put a lot of attention, and they also just getting more reps. Cole took the shot too early. He should have waited till he got behind the red line. I know, right? I thought he was going to do that. Oh man, yeah, Hudson. That was Hudson who got beat by Farabee. Arbor's starting to keep it simple. Still the odd bad pass, but he's getting better. Oof. Yeah, they just showed the Jackeye hit on Hanley. That was a beauty. How many hits does he have officially so far? 2 hits for Jackeye in there, but they were both big boys. Oh, your challenge. Oh, I'm always up for a challenge, Bob. Thank you. Keep me alert. Hey, Max. Jackeye and Struble must be on amphetamines tonight. They're looking good. Maybe what was it, the smelling salts. Oh, Coleman and Gallagher getting into it, but Jackeye's in the mix. Strubel's in the mix. Dano's in the mix. The NHL released a video on Slavkovsky the other day called My World. Yeah, how is it? Is it good? I don't watch a lot of like the official NHL stuff. I find it's kind of boring sometimes. But let me know if that one's a good one because it is showing up in my feed a lot, so I do want to watch it. During the 9-0 Islanders blood of the Devils last night, a fan threw a PK Subban jersey on the ice. It's true. So we got one penalty only. So first power play goes to Calgary. Roughing call on Struble for that whole kerfuffle earlier. They've been dominating the game, but the score remains 0-0. Yeah, and now it's a Calgary power play. Now, the Calgary Flames, I don't believe, have a good power play. But still, you don't want to give them chances. Oh, there you go. The Flames had the worst power play in the NHL. So you definitely, for pride reasons, do not want to allow a power play. Yeah, I mean, Jack Guy definitely came in, or sorry, Struble definitely came in with the. Oh yeah, there he is. Definitely headlocking the guy. Only Struble. I know it's weird. It's always weird when there's like a big fight with people and then only one guy gets a penalty. Mike Matheson with a very nice defensive play. The puck was in a very dangerous spot in the slot, and Matheson was able to get it and dump it down the ice very slowly. Karen says, I sure hope this doesn't turn into the type of game where we take shot after shot and cannot score a goal. Yeah, Dustin Wolf's been known to do that. Oof, nice shot by Coleman. Oh, Backlund in net in front of the net trying to put some garbage in, and Kapanen's first back there to like send him a message. But again, Fowler, man, he does not get too worried about traffic. Like he watches the puck really well. Penalties over. 28.8 seconds left to go in the first period. Calgary 0 for 1 in the power play. Wolf with the shutout tonight. I see what you're trying to do, Harry, but as we've established, the bad karma only applies when you talk about a Habs goalie. You can't say that an opposing goalie will get a shutout and then jinx them. It doesn't work that way. What you need to do is you need to call a Calgary Flames fan and have them tell you that Wolf will get a shutout. First period over. So much ado about nothing. 14-7 shots for the Habs, but no goals. Hello, Gary. Good to see you again. Olivier is a beast. He destroyed Arbor in a scrap while back. I would avoid Olivier like most Habs now do. I mean, Olivier is the best fighter in the league, I think. I know you gotta like make it so that it's like, well, the Habs are in particularly affected by Olivier, but it's not the case. He is just the best fighter in the league. So, what can you do? I've heard numerous analysts say that he is one of the best goalie prospects ever. Is this Jacob Fowler you're talking about or Dustin Wolf? Dustin Wolf's not a prospect anymore. He was a rookie last year. But I do think Dustin Wolf is of the goalies that I see, I'd say that he's definitely one of the best. It's hard for Calgary to tank when they have two good goalies. I know. It's the Carey Price paradox, we'll call it. So let's get into some odds here. In the Money Puck deserve to win meter, we are at 60% Habs, about 59. It's kind of locking in right now. If we go in Poly Market, we got 57% Habs. And then let's get to the high danger chances. So in terms of chances after one period, we've got 6 scoring chances and 2 high danger chances for the Flames. And then we have 9 scoring chances and 3 high danger chances for the Habs. So there you go. So not surprising, the Canadiens were pretty dominant that period, and the stats, the prediction markets seem to reflect that. The USA goalie program is elite. From everything I've read, they're just pumping out quality goalies. The best goalies from the world right now are coming from the US and from Russia. Had a really great streak too, where they were like Shesterkin and Sorokin and Vasilevsky. I guess Russia's now kind of like a bit on the downswing and USA's on the upswing. But yeah, USA is definitely churning out the best goalies right now. Right now, RDS talking a little bit about the Czechia team, who don't seem great. So the question I've got for you guys, uh, let me know what you think. When Kaiden Guhle comes back this week, uh, where does he play? What are the pairings for you? The ideal pairings here. All right, I'll be back in a sec. You guys answer that question and let me know. All right, here we go. So far, we got Rick says Hudson with Matheson, Gooley with Dobson, Arbor, Struble, and Carrier. Hudson with Mike. So who's the right hand guy on the Hudson Mike? That's where it gets tough. Like Hudson's playing so much better on the left side, and Matheson's not great on the right side either. That's tough. Many Canadian players go via the NCAA route, especially in border states. Yeah, no, and especially now that they've kind of changed the rules a little bit, we're seeing a lot more. Now that you can play a year in junior and then go to the NCAA, we're seeing a lot more of that. So it's going to be tough for Canadian junior to stay current, stay good. NCAA is always going to be more. It's always going to be more attractive to go to a good school, you know. I think for me on defense, I will go Dobson, Hudson on the top pair, Matheson, Carrier on the second pair, Gooley, Arbor on the third pair. Man, even as I'm saying it, I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I guess you got to put. I guess somebody's got to bite the bullet and play the right side. It's the only thing that makes sense. But man, Carey has been playing some of his best hockey of late. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know who goes in. Guhle with a protective fence around him. I can't bear to see him go down again. So many high hopes. I know he's. I think when he went down initially, man, I really like lately. The Habs been playing well, but there were definitely when the defense was just like a total mess and it wasn't very physical. I was like, man, they really need Guhle back. But I don't really know where he plays. It's tough. Does he play the right side? He's not. I don't think he's great on the right side at all. I don't think any of these guys are. I don't see Mike on the second pairing. I guess you could logically say whoever Matheson plays with is the first pairing, right? In the end. It's tough. I don't suppose the league would look favorably if Fowler changes personalized Florida license plate on his helmet to the more common "arrive stoned." Is this a Florida joke? I'm not. Are people in Florida stoners? You have to explain that one to me, Timur. I don't think I understand. I think we need a trade to organize the D. I'm starting to feel that way too. Cause is this how you do it? Matheson, Dobson, Hudson, Guhle, Jack I Carrier. Hudson's been playing so well with Carrier though. Ah. And then Guhle on the third pairing seems like a waste. This is tough. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, Rick is supportive. I think Goule's not great on the right side. I think Guhle gets hurt when he plays the right side, to be honest. I don't have proof of this, but I do feel like he already has a tough time um like protecting himself along the boards. And I just feel like putting him on this opposite D just like adds to the trouble. But I also don't know what you do. There is a little bit of Habs news though. Oh, you work Guhle in slowly. You put him on the left side on the third pair. I think that is a possibility. Consensus on Struble bench, yes. Uh, so there's a little bit of Habs news today. Kirby Dach is still wearing a protective boot, according to Patrick Friolet of RDS. So, sorry, y'all. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. It would be my guess. That's not great. Oh, I know we got to keep. I know we got to like. I don't know. Do we just got to give up the dream on Kirby Dach? I think that's not great. Guhle gets hurt lacing up. I love Guhle, but he's missed over 30% of 32% of his career to injuries. That's pretty bad. I didn't know it was that many, but yeah, that sounds about right. Did anyone else see Florian get pounded in his last AHL game? He was pretty messed up. I did not, Gary. Who did he fight? We also have some winter classic news. The next winter classic will be played in Utah in 2027. Utah. There you go. Did anyone else notice that the Sens are dead last? Did Gary notice? Gary, did you notice your Senators are in last place? Hey, it's a competitive division. I think they'll climb. They're pretty talented. I think they'll climb out of it. But the goaltending situation in Ottawa is such a mess right now. They were really counting on Olmark, and he is not available to play at the moment. Do they make an offer of 3.5 mil? That's the qualifying offer for a season. I think if this season is a wash, I don't know. I honestly don't think so. It's tough. It's a little early to count some teams out. Maybe after the break. Oh, for sure. Timur, it's the East is a mess. Like everybody's still in it. Nobody's running away with it, and everybody's still in it. Canadians are gonna be fighting till the end. How about the Jets from the first to worst? I'm really sad that the Jonathan Taves comeback thing didn't work out. I was like kind of hoping he'd be okay, but no, he's I think statistically one of the worst players in the league this year. All right, we're back for the second period. And man, Canadians played really well in the first period and got nothing to show for it. I'm sure, as you guys know, not a great team in the second period. I'm sure you're all feeling a little on edge that there's going to be a bit of a letdown. Sorry, I thought you said they were dead. They're just resting. Yeah, the Senators, they're good, man, and they're only a few points back of the Habs. I'm not counting them out yet for a second, but they need their goalie back. Allmark. If they can't win without, they can't win without Allmark. Allmark's pretty important for them, I would say. All right, here we go. Second period underway. Leafs finish above the Sens. Yeah, the Leafs. I don't think expected to be in that mess, but they're in that whole mess of teams too. They could make the playoffs. They could miss them. Hey, it's Noah Dobson's 26th birthday today. Happy birthday, Noah Dobson. In the immortal words of Roger Parmar, Kirby Duck. I saw Florian fight, but he never missed a shift. So there you go. Some confirmation. Oh my God, look at that sick bay. The sick bay for the Habs. Looking pretty full these days. All those Florida injuries may be too much to overcome. Man, this is not a kind league. And they went back to back, which is incredible. But so far, teams have, Tampa's never gotten back to the promised land. And they've looked pretty unbeatable at times. So it's tough. You do break down eventually. Oh, really bad turnover by Gallagher there. But nothing's really going to develop from it. The Habs are quick up the ice again. They are really great at the counterattack. Olmark has had issues everywhere he's played. Dude definitely has something going on. Yeah, very odd situation there for Ottawa. They'll have to figure that one out. Possibly acquiring a goaltender if he can't go. Man, Coleman was kind of left all alone there, and he took the pass from behind the net in front. Very nice chance on Fowler, who just, like, super calmly made the save. Dano, 7 for 7 on faceoffs. He came here to do one job, and he's doing it. We should waive Montembeault and Line, just saying. Well, Montembeault is definitely not getting waived. I think he's going to win the job back pretty soon if he hasn't already. And Line is just not coming back anytime soon. I think he's a tomorrow problem, as they say. Uh, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't think there's room for him. But he's also recovering from a pretty difficult injury, so we may not see him. Oh my God, why did they come out sloppy? Adam asks. Yeah, no, I was mentioning that before. I was like, man, they had such a good period, but didn't score, and obviously now Calgary's got a little wind in their sails, so hopefully the Habs can weather that. I think the Habs are probably due for a power play at some point too, possibly. Line ain't a second for Sherwood. Apparently, the Canucks are trying to re-sign Sherwood, which is like a classic Canucks. God, I think the Canucks are just the worst damn run team in the league. And they're obsessed. They're obsessed with these like lower six, middle six forwards. Signing like Mikheyev, Joshua. Oh, what a goal! Texier catches. Wolf sleeping. What a goal! The Olympian Alex Texier makes it 1-0. Everybody was expecting pass, including Dustin Wolf, and Texier just roofed it on the corner. Carrier, very nice pass. Wolf not playing his net well at all. And that is the 100 point in Texier's career. I doubt anyone will take Line. Best case for us is he's a power play specialist. I think there's a very real possibility that he just like doesn't play. They just isn't he's not healthy enough to come back anytime this season. And then he's a free agent, and then he'll go somewhere else next year. I really don't know what. And you know what? He's been banged up so much at this point that I think his career is definitely. He may not come back anywhere. He kind of likes living in Montreal. Made enough money to live his life. I don't know. I don't know if there's his future is not clear. So I wouldn't take too much about. Let's like wait and see what happens about Line getting healthy, and then we can make a determination if is Line on the Olympic team. Line is not on the Olympic team. Kapanen is. He won't be back in time. Anyway. Sherwood would be perfect for the Habs. Can score, size, very physical. Absolutely, I absolutely think he'd be like the perfect rental for the Habs for the playoffs. But I mean, it sounds like the Canucks are going to keep him. I don't know. I don't know why they would. They should rebuild. They just lost their best player, but I don't think the Canucks could bring themselves to rebuild. They need a bunch of mediocre forwards. I heard they're trying to trade Connor Garland though, and then I saw what Connor Garland's contract is, and I'm like, what the hell? We've got a penalty coming up against the Habs. I read that Texie's mom loves Montreal as she doesn't speak any English and didn't like St. Louis. They did not like St. Louis. I know he didn't like St. Louis. I don't think he liked Columbus very much either. No, this is I think Texier's best chance to carve out an NHL career in Montreal. I don't think it's happening anywhere else for him. I mean, maybe somewhere like New York or like some big city like New York, but are we gonna get a chance here on the PK? Here comes Valeno. Oh, nice shot though. You guys are talking about Caulfield as if he's having like a not a good season. Are you guys being weird about Caulfield right now? He's, he's what? He got 20 goals this year. He's good. He's fine. Here, Max. Caulfield steal set up that play for the goal. Good work. Calgary having another kind of sleepy power play, but They've narrowed the gap in shots here. 16-13 after the Habs were up 14-7 in the first period. Texie's mom doesn't like Marty St. Louis. Trust me, when the Habs play the St. Louis Blues, all kinds of problems. Hard to write. Oh, nice shot by the Flames through traffic. Didn't get to Fowler, though. There you go. Matheson. Oh, coming out of the box. Hey! 2-0 Habs. Lane Hudson wanted that one. That was, man, who was the one really like somebody was slamming a stick so hard? Was that Hudson? Did he really want that one? Okay, so Deno comes out of the box. Oh, it was Deno. Deno was in the corner, asked for it, and then immediately dished it back to Lane Hudson in the top of the slot, who cranked a one-timer. What a player. Somebody must have told Veleno, you hit or you sit. He's had a few hits tonight already. I will say this about Veleno, the one aspect of his game that's pretty good is he's pretty good at hitting. I don't think he's good at anything else. And I think he's definitely a guy that could lose his job, but he can hit. I'll give him that. Fowler is just a smaller version of Price. The more I watch him track the puck, more impressed I get. He is very, very calm in the net. The way that he reminds me of Price is not a lot of movement. Like he's very like methodical in his movements, and he's not like the polar opposite of like Dobesh, right? Dobesh is acrobatic, making lots of moves. On a bit of a roll, Calgary's power play has not looked very scary. It is, in fact, Timur, the worst power play, entering this game, the worst power play in the league. I don't think Fowler is going back down. It's getting to the point where, because you can still send Dobesh down. Dobesh can clear, he's not waiver eligible, so you can send him down if you want. He's still young. I don't think there's any shame in him going back to the minors at his age. I don't think you're condemning him to anything by doing that. It's pretty funny when a Sens fan insults the Habs. Sens started the rebuild way before the Habs, and they're in the basement. Oof. Karen, going hard. Last year, people saying Hudson can't shoot. 8 halfway through the season. Yo, Hudson, I will say that Hudson worked on his shot all off season. He did not have an NHL caliber shot last year. Not that it seemed to matter, but he's got a shot now. How about another one? 3-0. Oliver Kapanen's got another one. All right, is everybody feeling calm now? So Kapanen's now got 14 goals. So far, Slavkovsky with the assist. By the way, Texier's got an assist on the Hudson goal. So now Texier's got 2 points tonight. Not bad. Ooh. Is it happening? That's brutal, guys. Could you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and the Habs were down 3-0 and took a too many men penalty? We'd be beside ourselves. That is bad. That is just bad by the Flames. Kapanen has by far proved to be the biggest surprise this season. I liked him, but I never saw this coming. I agree with you totally, Max. I thought he was maybe going to establish himself as like a fourth line player this year. Like I was literally just expecting him to win a job, not suddenly be the guy that Kent Hughes says is the second line center of the future. Pretty remarkable. Well, the Habs have a chance to really cut this one open. Oh, and Slavkovsky with the perfect chance as the bumper. And he fanned on it. Damn. See you, Timur. Hopefully the Habs do have this one locked up. All right, Hudson with the nice zone entry on the power play. Can they make something materialize here? There's still a minute left in the power play. Another chance to Slavkovsky on the one timer, and that one got blocked. Oh, another chance by Slavkovsky in front. Hudson and Caulfield now doing a little give and go at the top of the point. All right, we got one last chance here on the power play. What a chance. Slavkovsky, man, right in front. I don't know how Dustin Wolf kept that out. So the power play is over. They didn't score, but they definitely got their chances. That was a nice power play, we'll say. Mark says, I can't recall the Habs so totally dominating another team this year. That's a good point. The Canadiens definitely like to keep these ones pretty close. But they have after a slight swoon to start the second period, are really dominant now. Karen says, pretty obvious Marty told him during the intermission to keep doing what they're doing and the goals will come. That's true. I don't think he said anything. I don't think he said much of anything after that period. I'm sure he was just like, you guys are fine tonight. Slav with the big miss. Hey, it happens. He's still putting up a lot of points. That second line is magic, Ryan says. They really have hit pay dirt with those guys, for sure. 14 goals, 9 assists for Cap. Yeah, he's not there's some big rookies this year, so he's probably not in line for a Calder nomination, but he's still having a good one. And then a year or two, Haig will be up. Yeah, I guess he's probably going to sign at the end of this year, and then we'll see what happens. The 4 teams that passed on Demidov, I will say, I mean, Demidov, as great as he's been, San Jose probably not feeling too bad about having Macklin Celebrini, and Seneke's playing really well for Anaheim. So it's really is that no? It wasn't the Celebrini draft, was it? Lavunshov, uh, Lindstrom. Yeah. Okay. Jack and Struble getting good ice time tonight. Marty must like what he sees, but sometimes it's hard to tell. Well, Marty's not going to like that. So what do we got here? Yeah. He went to go shove the Calgary player as he was going back to the bench, and he got his stick up. Slavkovsky just looking at the tablet on the bench there, man. He really doesn't know how he missed that one. We had people scolding Hugo passing on Mishkov when they took Reinbacher. Well, I mean, Reinbacher has yet to play an NHL game, so I'll withhold my feelings on that until Reinbacher actually makes the show. I like Reinbacher, though. I think he's going to be a good one. Again, if he can stay healthy, which obviously a big if. And, well, we're almost a minute into this power play, and Calgary once again has done less than nothing. They really stink on the power play. Fowler with a nice save. Oh, they're looking up at Kent Hughes. He's looking pretty happy tonight. So much for the increased ice time for Jackeye. Yeah, they showed St. Louis on the bench. He wasn't looking too thrilled. I'll tell you that much. We got 6:02 left in the second. By the way, penalty about to wind down here, and Habs are up 3-0. Scored 3 goals in the second period. Yeah, we're back to 5-on-5. I mean, the Calgary Flames need to rebuild. I mean, this is the same issue that the Habs underwent, for the whole Carey Price era. Do you rebuild or do you not rebuild? And they never really did. They did some shuffling of chairs and things like that, but they never really did a rebuild. And Calgary, Vancouver, man, these teams are they've been going nowhere for so long. Uh, the Canucks just lost their best player. Calgary doesn't really have anyone to like. I mean, they lost their best player to the Panthers a couple years ago, and they haven't really recovered. Um, it's tough. They gotta make these teams gotta make some decisions about what they want to do going forward because this Calgary team is not good. They don't got a lot. They should try to trade what they can trade. But it's sad. I mean, it's sad. We don't want the Canadian teams you know, to struggle, especially the ones out west that we don't really feel much. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel. I don't feel much affinity for, but I also like. I don't despise them or anything. Uh, but Calgary, man, they need a couple lottery picks. Basically, they need a couple lottery picks. They need to get lucky on. Well, I don't know. We were all saying Gavin McKenna, but now it might be somebody else. They need a lottery pick, and they need to get back in this because this team's not going to win anything, and their core is old. They got like Huberto, Kadri, Coleman. These guys, they were good once, but man, they're all very overpaid and very old. Uh, Uyghur's still good. They need young talent for a new arena. That's the other issue. They need a new arena. Their Alberta cousins in Edmonton got their new arena. They also got McKinnon, and that's really what Calgary needs next. They need a star and a reason to build a barn. Speaking about the Leafs, all that effort to bottom out, all that work to get a pick on the bottom 15, and it all goes to Boston. Right, for the Carlo trade? Is that what's going on? Yeah. I mean, I think the day Marner went out the door, so too did the Leafs' chances of building a cup winner under that framework. Because now Austin Matthews is just getting more and more paid, and he's starting to break down. Nylander is not really doing it himself. Yeah. Their defense is lousy. Riley forgot how to play hockey. Yeah, tough times for Canadian teams, man. And first for Scott Laughton. That's exactly like the kind of team that's like pushing it all in. You need that one more player. Yeah, sure, we'll get Scott Laughton. That's what it'll take to get Sherwood. That's the thing about Kiefer Sherwood. It'll probably take the Canadians' first rounder to get him. But if the Canadians are contenders, I think we could all rationalize them doing it. Poor TSN. Who are they going to praise? Good question. Celebrini. I think they're all going to be on the Celebrini train. That guy's incredible. Eric, you being a Habs fan and following the 10-year rebuild of this team, I don't think you should be offering suggestions to teams like Flames and Canucks on how to rebuild. Well, as we've established here, the Canadiens have not been in a rebuild for 10 years. The Canadiens were trying to win every year under Marc Bergevin. First of all. Two, as Blue just pointed out, the Canadiens were in a cup final a couple years ago. Obviously, it was like a fluky cup final, but hey, the Flames also had a fluky cup final, did they not? Um, so yeah, it's not a 10-year rebuild. It's like a five. They're in year what, four of a rebuild, and things are going pretty well for them. The Bergevin years were exactly what the Flames and Canucks are doing right now, where they didn't rebuild. They like tried to kind of make it work and make the playoffs. Um, so they're actually doing what the Canadians did wrong for so long. That's why I'm telling them what they should be doing. Because the Canadians finally recognize that they need to rebuild. They're actually doing pretty good at it now. Whereas the Canadians, for so long, refused to rebuild, built, got some overpaid veterans every year, thought that they can make it work. They could never make it work. So I'm actually coming from a position, Gary, not of I think the Habs are incredible and are doing everything great, and I'm like thumbing my nose at these other teams. What I'm telling you is that I watched the Canadians do it improperly for so long, and I see the Flames and Canucks doing the same. This like refusal to kind of like burn it all down. But the Canadians burned it all down, and now they're building back up. And I think we all agree that they're doing pretty good. Slavkovsky intercepts it right at center ice. Can the second line do some magic again here? There's 2:28 left in the period. Habs up 3-0. We're back to 5-on-5. No, it's now 3-1. Farabee puts Calgary on the board. So this was kind of an interesting goal. Farabee kind of threw a screen, kind of beat Fowler glove hand, but it looks like it may have been offside. Nope. No, Denny's saying it's not offside. Fair enough. So there you go. 3-1. So Fowler now has 19 saves out of 20 tonight. So he's still having a good night. Fowler could have had that. Yeah, that was a bit fluky. Do you think it deflected off the Habs guy or not? I didn't see it in the replay, but it just seemed to like catch him off guard, which we haven't seen that much from him. We haven't seen that happen too much. Yikes. Yeah, it's a bit of a yikeser. A bit of a yikeser goal, but yeah, they happen. Not a good goal. Yeah. Not sure any true Habs fan is planning the parade for a few years yet, but they are trending in the right direction. Yeah, I think that's kind of how we all see it. I mean, we're all being cautiously optimistic here, but I mean, they are playing quite well. Unless it was deflected. That's what I'm wondering, Ryan. There was the guy being used as a screen. So I wonder if Fowler it was deflected because Fowler has not made too many mistakes like that so far. He's been good at watching the puck. Not planning the parade for another 2 years. Oh, Caulfield with a nice shot in the high slot. All right. We got a minute 7 left now in the second. It's 3-1. And Caulfield, so really nice steal by Matheson. Matheson's had a good night tonight. And Caulfield picked it up in the high slot, took a shot, and Wolf did not feel very comfortable there. So that's Fowler's first goal allowed in 1:15:38. That's crazy. Maybe you do send out Dobish, man. Fowler's looking good, and Dobish is the one who's not looking mechanically sound at the moment. Got one more chance. 30 seconds left. Demidov dumps it in the zone. Wolf comes out and plays it pretty calmly. So maybe it'll be Calgary who gets one more chance. Yeah, Demidov would be wise to keep this in the corner. Well, the second period is over, and the Canadiens have a dreaded 2-goal lead, as you guys will say. They're up 3-1 on the Calgary Flames. They have outshot them 23-21. By the way, a little bit of sad news here. RIP Glenn Hall. Glenn Hall, they announced the passing of the Hall of Fame goaltender who has the set the record most consecutive games for a goaltender, 502. Passed away at age 94. So sorry to hear that, Glenn Hall. Did not play for the Habs, of course, but excellent NHLer nonetheless. Flames caught up on shot on goals. They did. They were very good in the start of the second period, and then the Habs had that rush where they scored 3 times. And then the Calgary Flames came back again, but I thought the Calgary Flames played well in the second period. Definitely would not discount them in the third. Great period. I mean that it was great the 3 goals for sure. Other than that goal, the Flames have looked awful, says Ryan Katz, and then R.I.P. Glenn Hall, says Rick. If you want to watch the as always, you guys can watch the highlight. If you missed the goals, you can watch them on our feed. All right. Intermission question for you guys. Do you agree with Kent Hughes, who said at the press conference yesterday that Oliver Kapanen can indeed be the 2C? All right, I'm back. Jack and Struble both 8-10. Well, that's not bad, right? 4-4. They'll probably play like 12, 13 minutes tonight. That's pretty good for your bottom pairing. With those two wingers, he sure can be. But as much as I agree with you that Kapanen is the third wheel on that line, he's a pretty good third wheel. Isn't interesting stat on Hall? He has his name on the 52 Cup with Detroit, despite not playing a game in the playoffs. Damn. How do you get his name on the cup? Bob says, isn't Kapanen the second line center now? Yes, but like, I don't think when he got put there that the team or fans or anybody, maybe even Kapanen himself, believed that he was like the true second line center of the future. Like he was put there because he had good chemistry with Demidov, and they were like, well, Doc and Newhook are hurt, so somebody's got to play. The fact is, I think in the last 20 games, he's proven to them that I think they're actually like actively no longer looking for a second line center. In fact, it seemed Kent Hughes actually said that they were looking for a frontline forward. I believe he's looking more for a winger, a first line winger to play with Caulfield and Suzuki, and that he's no longer looking for a second line center, which we all, entered the season. That was the biggest question about the team, who's going to be the second line center, and that the belief was that they were going to have to acquire somebody. Now they've acquired Deneau to be the third line center. Evans will come back and be the fourth. They're feeling pretty good about Kapanen as a second line center. So that's kind of the amazing thing about sort of his last, 20 games or so. Although he's played well pretty much all season. If you want to watch, we dropped a new episode of Hockey Inside Out today. As I mentioned before, Knuckles was a late scratch. He's got to go do something in New York for the New York 100th anniversary of the team. So Chris had to cancel. So Brendan Kelly of What the Puck fame is on instead. And so it's Green and Kelly, and they do a great job. It's a great episode. They're talking about the Habs at the halfway mark. We put the question to them: are they contenders or pretenders? So you can watch that on YouTube. You can watch that on our website. You can also watch it. We put it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, so you can actually you can watch it as a podcast on Spotify, or you just listen to it. I actually had a couple of readers reach out and tell me that they actually really liked listening to the podcast. That they were actually like, I actually don't like watching a podcast because I'm like driving or running errands or jogging while I listen to my podcast. So I had a fan tell me that they actually really love that it's on Spotify now, and you can just listen to the podcast. You don't have to watch it. So if you did not know that, the podcast is now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you get your podcast, they say, but I'm not exactly sure if it's on all of them. How long is Josh Anderson out for? I don't know. All I know is that I believe he's supposed to be day to day, but they haven't even said anything, so I don't know. Zorovsky will be on the first or second line within 2 seasons. He's having such a good year in Russia. I don't think anybody expected that. He and Hager's still coming up. They got a lot of. Be really interesting to see what happens. So the money puck deserved to win meter has not changed much. It went from 60% to 59%. Polymarket has it at, this is the most, the most lopsided I think I've ever seen Polymarket since I started going Polymarket. 94 cents to the Habs. 94% out of every dollar bet on the Habs right now. That's pretty good. And then how are we doing for high danger chances here? So for chances, we have nine scoring chances for the Flames, three high danger chances, and then we have 17 scoring chances for the Habs, seven high danger chances. That's a lot. So there you go. So much will happen with our prospects that our third line will be most teams' second line. I mean, if they hit on Hage and Zarovsky with the guys they already have, it will be an embarrassment of riches. Obviously, like things don't work out, anything can happen. Somebody can get hurt, somebody can fall off. Guys struggle, guys their games change and they don't fit anymore. Like all kinds of things can happen, but they've already got like 5 out of 6 top six. If depending on how you believe in Kapanen, and then they're potentially adding two more guys to that in the next couple of years in Hagen, Zarovsky, who are obviously still incredibly raw as prospects, but you know, it's not nothing that Hage led the World Junior Championships in scoring. Like that's a pretty crazy accomplishment for a guy who was not like so old for the tournament. I mean, he was a 19-year-old for the tournament. So, and then Zarovsky, who's playing in a men's league and is dominating almost as much as Demidov. Now, he's not as good as Demidov, for sure not, but you know what I mean. Who's starting tomorrow against the Panthers? I don't know yet. They've been lately announcing it after the games. If you wanted me to bet, I would say Montembeau. That's what I think. I think Montembeau gets that one. Dobesh gets Saturday night. Oh wait, Ryan, you're already saying Dobesh? Was that announced already, or is this a prediction? Maybe we already got it. Hold on. Am I wrong? I guess he's played well against Florida. So maybe that gets him in there. Anyways, I don't think we know yet. It'd be weird for them to announce it before, right? But they do play 5 games in 7 nights. So I do think we're gonna see all three of them and then I think they'll sort it out. Probably after this like little homestand. Oh, the backup has started lately. Right, so Dobesh is the backup tonight. He gets in. That actually makes a lot of sense that they wouldn't put in Montembeau cold like that. That actually, Ryan, makes a lot of sense. You are wise. All right, y'all, we're back for the third period. Canadians are up 3-1 on the Calgary Flames. They've outshot them 23-21. It was 14-9 shots for Calgary in the second period. They closed that gap after the Canadiens were pretty dominant in the first but didn't score. And then go figure, the Canadiens scored 3 goals in the second period. All right, here we go. Klapka's had a nice game tonight. He just whistled one wide, but Klapka's pretty noticeable out there. He's pretty big. Seems to move pretty well. Is Marchand going to be in the lineup tomorrow? He left the Flames game early. We're not too sure about that one. I don't think we know yet. So Fowler will have to sit for 2 games because Marty's going to play the 3 goalie routine. It worked so well the last time. Not. I know they can't. They can't do it again. It didn't work. I think they know that. I think one of as soon as Monty is right, which will probably be after his next start if he does okay. I think one of the 2 guys goes to Laval, especially since you can both send them down without having them have them have to clear waivers. Yo, where is the match? I'm afraid you're gonna have to subscribe to wherever you are, whatever NHL package you'll have to subscribe to. Legally can't show the games. This is just a watch along, but thank you for joining anyway. It's 3-1, by the way. 3-1, 17:56 left in the third period. And we have a good record so far using the 3 goalie rotation. I know, but you and I both know that it's not ideal to have one goalie in the stands every time. Uh, I don't think it did Kaiden Primo any good in the end. So, Blue, I think you'll admit that it's better off having somebody in Laval. Just a matter of figuring out who. Oh, do we got a 2-on-1 here? Nice job by the Calgary guy to come back. And then Calgary almost had a chance for a 3-on-2, and then they iced the puck in like the worst possible way. Man, Calgary is not making life easy for themselves. Took a too many penalty, like after going down 3-0, icing the puck, like ugh, messy team. 6 road wins this year for the Flames, so they're not very good. Not very good away from the Saddle Dome anyway. Kansas is keeping the 3 goalies until the Olympics. They're playing 13 games from now until the end of January. Nobody is going to Laval. You're right. The timing of the Olympics, I think you're right, makes it like possible for them to get a nice clean out when the Olympics start, right? Because when then the Olympics start, you can send Fowler down and be like, well, he's gonna go get his reps, and then you just don't call him back up. Or Dobesh, same thing. That's true. You're not doing any permanent damage by keeping three goalies till the Olympic break. It's more just like if you do it for like the rest of the season. Just not a very good period. Very little of note happening so far. It's been pretty sloppy. What a goal by Caulfield. Holy moly. There are not a lot of guys in this league that can do that. How on earth he caught that puck with his stick out of midair and then set it down and sniped it. Unbelievable. What a great goal. Wolf had no chance. Bouncing puck, beauty shot. 3 points for Texier tonight. Not bad. Wicked shot, says Michael Paul. Did that change the complexion of the period? Yeah. They went from the dreaded 2-goal lead to a perfectly comfortable 3-goal lead. Great start to the period. Nice outless pass by Jackeye. He's having a good night, Jackeye. This is the team, man. I would tinker with this team, you know, sparingly at this point. And the ole ole chants come out, as you can imagine. Yeah, what a night for Texier, man. Wow, the Habs are even doing the wave. Well, it's their first game back at the Bell Center in a really long time, almost a month at this point, and they are excited as they should be. Still too early for an Ole? No, 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 no. Come on. They got to do it at this point, right? What a goal by Caulfield, though. Suzuki's got 1 assist on the night. So Caulfield's got 2 points now. He's got 42 points on the season. Hudson's got a point. Slavkovsky's got a point. Kapanen's got a point. So everybody's got a point tonight except nothing for Dobson, nothing for Demidov from the big boys anyway, who seem to get on the scoreboard every single time they play, which is like pretty remarkable. Yeah, usually I don't have time for this Mike Shea Rona commercial that they show on the RDS broadcast, but man, when the Habs are playing this good, whatever, man, play my Sharona. It's all good. I'll listen to anything. Usually the last game of a road trip, first and home, are hard. Yeah, no, I was fully like knowing that Dustin Wolf was gonna like probably stand on his head. I was like, the Habs are totally in a prime position to lose this game. But you know what? Dustin Wolf has. I don't think he's been bad necessarily, but he certainly hasn't been good. I thought he was. I thought the Texier goal was definitely the really bad one that he let in. But yeah, Texier, man, 3 points tonight, +3, really doing a lot to seal a spot here. I mean, the whole issue with Texier, the guy's talented. It's just can he invariably when he's like not on the first line anymore, can he be a useful player? And I don't know if this has proven that at all, but as you might have guessed it, it's the first 3-point night of Texier's career. They should yell LA every time Montreal throws a good hit. I don't know. You guys are already feeling kind of a type of way about the Olay chant. I don't know if the hits are that's gonna make you guys feel any better. I think I heard that Robertson from Dallas may be on the trading block. Well, somehow he didn't make the Olympic team, which is like mind-boggling to me. But I don't know, man. I'm not Bill Guerin. Oh, can Texia get some more here? The top line is once again pressing in the offensive zone. And they just don't seem to have an answer for him at all. Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield make everyone look good. Texas will have to be as good on the second and third line. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, right? Like, they're not going to keep him on the first line forever. But I will say that Zachary Bolduc did not look that good on the first line. Texas, I think, is definitely a better fit on the top line. Robertson is a good player. That is an understatement, Rick. Jason Robertson is an excellent player. He is really good. He would be. I mean, Dallas are in a corner. They've spent a lot of money to bring in Rantanen, re-sign Hintz, Harley. They just, as of right now, don't really have the money to give Robertson the like 10 million or whatever that he wants. The Canadiens do, but the Canadiens are getting to the point where they've got to like they kind of got like one more big piece that they can get. Because you have to remember that Demidov might get like 10 mil. That's possible. So is Robertson that guy? Basically, is the question that the Habs will have to ask themselves. I don't know if they've got the. Oh, Beck again. Beck right in front. And he can't find a. He can't find the goal. He had a post earlier today. Bad giveaway to Huberdeau. Canadians sleeping on that shift, and Huberdeau almost made them pay. Man, Huberdeau is a guy who really left the bosom of Alexander Barkov and was not the same after that. Meanwhile, yeah, look at Beck and Blais. Both hanging around the net. Exactly where they ought to be, but didn't get it to go. In Bolduc's defense, he's still wrong. Absolutely. Bolduc is not ready for top line duty. I'll totally cop to that. But he also just wasn't a good fit. But I still think Bolduc's gonna be a pretty decent player. I also think he's gonna be probably more of like a Texier third line type, which is fine. They traded a defenseman who probably isn't gonna make it. I was hearing he wants 12.5 million per. This is Jason Robinson. Yeah, I mean he's a 40 goal scorer. He can get it. So I think that's a little outside of Montreal's price range. I think it would just make them a little too tight to the cap if that was the case. Because remember, they also have to think about like Kapanen is going to have a contract up at some point, and if he's actually a second line center, he'll get paid pretty handsomely. How about Slavkovsky? Can he break in for a chance? Oh, he puts the brakes on, tries to find someone. Almost a highlight reel play, but they keep stealing the puck on Calgary. Man, Calgary are freaking brutal. What a terrible team. They stole it, and the Habs steal it again and go down the ice. I mean, Slavkovsky is just dancing around the Calgary players at this point. But he loses it. Texier, by the way, will be joining the Olympics. So he's four Habs are going to be in the Olympics in the end, right? So Suzuki, Slavkovsky for Slovakia, Kapanen for Finland, and then Texier, of course, as the lone Frenchman in the NHL at this point. He's going to rep Team France. So I imagine he's got a little bounce in his step today about that. And yeah, really excited to see what he can do. And excited if he can solidify a spot on the team long term. He's still quite young. We got a 9:50 left, and the Canadiens have a delayed penalty call against them. All right, 9:39, and the Calgary got a power play here. And it is Brendan Gallagher. You know, we were talking about like when guys come back from injury, who's going to sit out. I think it would take a lot for Marty St. Louis to not play Brendan Gallagher. But I got to tell you, if it was totally merit based, Gallagher would be like getting close to midnight. Dumb penalty by Galley. Like, if you rank the forwards right now, like who's at the bottom here? Veleno, maybe. But Beck is at the bottom, obviously. Beck's the first guy back to the minors as soon as somebody comes back. And then Veleno's not playing if Evans comes back. And then Anderson's going to replace Beck. But then when like Newhook, Doc come back, like, you think Blaise probably the guy just because he's Bled. He can be the 13th forward, but like, man, Gallagher isn't tough. This is a good team, and they got a lot of forwards. And Texier is having a night tonight, and Texier's had a lot of good nights. Gallagher gave him a pretty good chop there. Let's get a shorty, Harry says. Dano is 85% face-off circle right now. Not a bad pickup. Gallagher won't be sat out. You have to go with the prospects. Yeah, I think it would take a lot to sit him. I think just knowing the leadership. But what I'm saying is, we're getting to midnight here on Gallagher. I don't know what's gonna happen, but they're gonna have him around in this year and next. I think. I don't think they're gonna buy him out or anything, but it's getting tougher and tougher to like keep him in the lineup. Bleh. Bleh's playing well though. I don't know. Maybe time for a mercy trade. Gallagher to Vancouver. Let him play in his hometown to finish his career. Will be no pressure on him. Yeah. I don't know. If for some reason Vancouver actually commits to a rebuild and they need to hit the cap floor, that's about the only way I could see that happening. Otherwise, not. But I would imagine that at this point the Canadiens feel pretty good about their leadership core. That I don't think they feel that losing Gallagher is going to be, so detrimental to things. Here we go, Veleno. Takes a penalty, though. Nice chance for Veleno here. Look at Veleno here, chugging, and he gets hacked. But he stays standing and gets a chance, man. Missed the net, but that's pretty good for him getting a chance. Because he got hacked. That was an undeniable hack, but nice try. Nice try by Veleno there. I mean, Veleno's not playing like bad hockey. But again, Canadians forwards are they're getting pretty deep at forward here. There aren't that many chairs available. I guess we'll see what happens with Anderson too. We don't really have much of an update yet, but he could be out. Who knows if he's out a while or not. Missed the net by a mile. Yeah, but he was like, the chop kind of got him off his stride. Ooh, nice save by Fowler. Calgary dominating this 4-on-4 thus far. Yikes. All right, penalty over. Now it's a 1 minute. 1 minute power play for the Habs. Oh, puck kind of bounced to Suzuki off the rush, and he was right in front of the net, and really nice play. So nice zone entry, nice passing back and forth, and yeah, Suzuki, the man in front, and a very nice try. So the Habs are still trying to find some offense here. They're up 4-1 with 7 minutes to go exactly. And they got 23 seconds left on a power play. Oh, power play over, and Calgary had a nice chance coming with the guy coming out of the box, but they weren't able to they weren't able to connect with the pass. Or sorry, 4-1 Habs. Sorry, 4-1 Habs, not 4-2, 4-1. Habs are losing a step, perhaps in the lead bit. They should be out for no mercy. That's the way Florida plays. Yeah, I mean they do have 5 games in the next 7 nights. I wouldn't hate it if they take the last 5 minutes slow and avoid any injuries or anything. We got a little 2-on-1 forming here with the Flames, and they make it 4-2. So there you go. Back to a dreaded 2-goal lead with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. It's not over yet. Hudson. Oh. Ha. Well, Marty's challenging that this was offside. What do you guys think? Here, we'll see. Wait for the replay here. That was fast. Was that like the Is that like the fastest review? I feel like that's the fastest review I've ever seen. I usually go. I mean, Calgary's still pressing, man. Farabee's hanging out in front of the net. I feel like he got clipped or something. Not that anybody noticed, but our offside challenge is now the goalie's new best friend instead of the post. Yeah, for real. Do refs get demerit points when challenges show they missed something? I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna guess that the NHL does not. I mean, maybe if it happens a lot. I mean, at the end of the season, when they do decide like which refs get to do the playoffs or whatever, there's a lot that goes into it. But I would imagine that a lot of that many botched calls would factor somehow. The NHL is pretty good refs linemen. MLB umps, on the other hand, are brutal. Yeah, definitely a different thing. Bring on the rough stuff, Max says. Put a stamp on this game. We win, and it's our barn. Well, they got 3:36 left in the third period. They're up 4-1. If they want to make a statement, they are running out of time to do so. I mean, they've made a statement on the scoreboard, but if you want to make a statement in the back alleys, they've got 3:18 left to do that. CFL rest, yes, the bane of Herb Zukowski's existence. I'll tell you, that man. Ask that man about how he feels about CFL refs, and he's not going to quit. That's for sure. Ah, yes, they're showing highlights of the Canadiens' 2-1 victory on October 22nd against the Flames on the road, when Jakub Dobish made 36 saves. Goodness gracious. Oh, yes, that was scored off a very, very lovely Mike Matheson goal in overtime off a pass from Ivan Demidov. We were so innocent back then. October 22nd. Who even remembers? So Mark Denny said Joe Villano went to the hallway after that whole slashing incident, but he's back on the ice. He's all good. I'd love to have Lomberg on this team. Man, Lomberg on the Panthers was such a pain in the butt. If that Lomberg is still in there, if Calgary hasn't destroyed his spirit, I too would like Lomberg as a depth piece because Lomberg was such a thorn in Montreal's side whenever they played against the Panthers. Awful. What a pain in the butt. So I approve. I approve acquiring a pain in the butt type player. That's the exact kind of player that Calgary should trade, by the way. Recognize that they need to rebuild and then trade a lot of those like grit guys. Because those grit guys aren't going to be good by the time that you're good. So deal them, get the pick, move on, trade them to the Habs, sure. All right, we got less than 2 minutes to go now. Really nice block by Lane Hudson. Fowler was definitely beat as Flames had done a couple of like cross ice passes there, and Hudson was able to block it. 19 block shots for the Habs tonight, actually. All right, here we go. Final minute of play. The Habs have likely walked away with this one. Ooh, nice steal. Veleno's still playing with some energy here as he's back on that play earlier when he took that hack while killing a penalty. Oh, took a dump there though. They're not going to call it though. This is done. The Flames will trade Anderson and Coleman for sure. Yeah, Anderson seems like a foregone conclusion, and I'm sure teams would call about Coleman. Coleman's definitely the kind of playoff warrior that teams are looking for. All right, this one's done. Oh, look at that. Francois Legault in the crowd tonight. Well, he's a happy camper. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, they went 4-1. God, I'm terrible at typing tonight. Sorry, I'm typing and watching at the same time. That's why I'm being terrible. Win 4-1 over the Flames. I gotta get better at that. Sorry, y'all. Mr. Fucking Typo tonight. There you go. They win 4-1. Jeez Louise. I can't fucking do anything right tonight. All right, there you go. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night. Bob, I'll see you tomorrow night. I'll be here tomorrow night. We'll do one tomorrow. We'll do this again. Ryan, thank you so much. That was a pretty solid game. Gotta say. Hey, Philippe Dano, third star tonight. Good for him. We're getting rewarded for his faceoffs. The Texier trade shows the intelligence of Hughes. Today's game shows that Hughes saw in him what others didn't. Texas still has to prove he's a long-term addition. Tonight's game is a big plus. Nice 60-minute team effort. I agree. Thanks to you as well, Blue. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Rick, thank you as well. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Max, always a pleasure. And Texier, first star tonight. Good for him. Hey, Francois Legault's happy. Legault knows he's not from Quebec, right? I kid. Well, as always, you can check the Gazette website for the Liveblog replay, which has all the goals if you want to watch the goals again. And we even got the Slavkovsky missing one. I'm going to add that shortly. And then we also got About Last Night coming up tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm going to write that up now. And then we also got Herb Zukowski, The Hidden Game, coming up usually like an hour or so after the game. And then finally, if that wasn't enough, we have a new episode of Hockey Inside Out available on YouTube right now with your old pals Stu Cowan, Rick Green, and a special guest this week, Brendan Kelly subbing for Chris Nyland. But Chris Nyland will be back next week. Anyways, thank you all so much for attending. I'll be back tomorrow for a much harder game, I'm going to assume. That would be the Calgary Flames against the Calgary Flames, the Montreal Canadiens against the Florida Panthers. All right, have a good night, everybody.